UBC News Tonight is coming to you live from the Now Avenue. A very good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight today on the 29th of May 2026 with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. We'll take a look at our top stories and what has been trending today.
The news headlines are brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
Tonight, President Museveni swaps top allies as Jen Ruth Acheng takes Chief Whip role, Justin Kasule as Ministry of Health. Dr. Chris Bariomunsi calls for stronger community sensitization as Ebola cases rise. Prosecutors urged to uphold integrity at the 8th Joan Kagezi Memorial Lecture. And the national teams intensify training ahead of major Coco Sports Championship.
We're brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
A very good evening once again. We start off with President Museveni, who has made fresh changes to the cabinet for the 2026-2031 term, swapping Justin Kasule Lumumba and Dr. Jen Ruth Acheng in key government positions. Dr. Acheng now takes over as government chief whip, while Lumumba moves to the ICT and National Guidance docket. Member of Parliament have welcomed Dr. Acheng's appointment, describing her as a seasoned leader capable of strengthening government coordination in Parliament. Members of Parliament have also praised outgoing Chief Whip Hamson Obua for fostering unity within the NRM party during his tenure.
Talking about harmonize, because the National Resistance Movement is a party and government that listens to the people.
The government chief whip is a senior official in Parliament responsible for maintaining party discipline, mobilizing members for voting, and ensuring the ruling party's legislative agenda is successfully passed. Members of Parliament say these are some of the attributes that the immediate former government chief whip Hamson Obua executed effectively during his tenure.
Obua had the knack of quickly capturing the attention of colleagues, members of Parliament, and persuading them over into listening to the view of the government side. For us as the NRM, one of the key points of his rallying call was unity. The members of Parliament were very much united around causes that the NRM had in the House. He knew how to mobilize us within the shortest time, and you'd see us coming in drones and numbers.
According to the legislators, Obua operated an open-door policy, making himself readily available to guide members on legislative scheduling for the benefit of the NRM party.
He would get to the extent of pleading with some people. I remember there's a time when members had remained in the lobby and they didn't want to enter. And he said, no, please come, it's important. You know, sometimes people need to be talked to, but he always did it effectively. You can't do it as one person to impress upon people what actually needs to be included in that bill. But when you talk together, after he has rallied you and he has, put that good spirit in you, then it works out well.
For us as people with disabilities, he valued us a lot. And whenever we go to his office, he would serve us first. He would not toss us up and down. So his contribution towards our sector has been excellent.
Hamson Obua will be replaced by Dr. Jen Ruth Acheng, whom President Yoweri Museveni on Thursday night reassigned from the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, where she had earlier been appointed in the new cabinet list, to Parliament as government chief whip. Members of Parliament are optimistic that Dr. Acheng's rich leadership background makes her a fitting replacement for Hamson Obua, who now awaits further deployment.
And that is the personality of Honorable Dr. Ruth Acheng. I believe that he can manage that docket very well, and I just pray that she will also take the footsteps of the Honorable Hamsom Ovua by being so approachable and have humility over everybody.
A soft-spoken but firm person. She appears a laid-back person and yet warm and able to easily relate with people. And then, as you know her from her background in Ministry of Health, she is a doer, a person who can accomplish tasks, never to be a person that speaks and ends things on the way. We witnessed a tremendous transformation of health sector provision in this country.
The new appointees are expected to be vetted by Parliament next week, according to communication from the Clerk to Parliament, Adolf Mwesije.
Therefore, you need the letter of invitation and you prepare for vetting accordingly. The first meeting, we have a schedule of how ministers will appear, and that schedule is also available in the office of the clerk. So when you get the schedule, you will be able to locate the actual time when you are expected to appear for vetting.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Members of the 12th Parliament have been urged to uphold conduct befitting their status, embracing respect, discipline and unity in diversity as guiding principles of their service. While closing the orientation of members of the 12th Parliament, Speaker Jacob Maxon Oboth expressed optimism that the House will have well-functioning committees, describing them as the engines of parliamentary business, as you're about to watch with Farida Nafka reporting.
The 12th Parliament is set to prioritize evidence-based legislation, even as members of Parliament grapple with the challenge of information overload in their legislative work. During the final day of the orientation for members of the 12th Parliament, the Director of Research Services in Parliament, Mugabe John Kakoza, emphasized that MPs cannot make meaningful recommendations or observations without relying on evidence. He noted that such evidence is mainly drawn from government documents to guide better policy analysis and decision-making. While closing the orientation, Speaker of Parliament Jacob Oboth reiterated that evidence-based legislation will be central in achieving the government's tenfold growth agenda.
In leadership, we will prioritize evidence-based legislation through harnessing diverse human resources and technical expertise in the parliamentary service in furtherance of the rule of law. It's only through effectively playing our role that we will strategically contribute to the realization of the government's tenfold growth strategy.
He further urged MPs to consistently uphold conduct befitting honorable members.
The jury is out on the legislature, and we must live up to the high standards with which the public is already judging us. Parliament is a marketplace of ideas where we use persuasion and not antagonism.
The Director of Communications and Public Relations in Parliament, Chris Obore, also advised MPs to respect established parliamentary processes, noting that the protocol section serves as an advisory arm to guide members of Parliament in their official duties. Some MPs welcomed this guidance, saying formal observance of protocol would help prevent embarrassment, especially during official travel abroad.
And then they take the photos. Then when they take a photo, say the member of Parliament for so and so is lying on the veranda waiting for the visa. So all of those help to safeguard us from such embarrassment and
out of the country when the protocols are not aware. I think it is safety for us, and also it's the same Parliament that passed a sovereignty bill. So even in respect of our sovereignty as Uganda, as one of the leaders, don't travel when your home country doesn't know. You're a valued leader unless someone is going out to do something wrong or suspicious.
Many of us, or many leaders, didn't know that traveling minus informing the clerk to Parliament is a problem to the member of Parliament. You could travel on personal businesses and find problems or issues there. When the office of the clerk is not aware, you may not be saved in case of
Others said the orientation has provided an opportunity to network with experienced legislators, seek mentorship and interact across political divides.
It's important for me to be in this orientation because as we move, we can easily have also new things. Apart from new things, we have very many new members of parliament. We need to mingle with them. We need to talk to them. We need to also, welcome them and they get to know us.
Of course, it has brought now the opposition members of parliament and the sitting NRM members of parliament, because when we were in Chankwanzi, we were only one party. But in orientation, all of us have been here. So interaction before going in the house is very important to know who you relate with, who is skilled in this.
There is a very strong pace. You must read the laws, you must read the rule of procedure, you must make sure whatever you present, it must move within the law, not outside the law. And this is
the Clerk to Parliament, Adolf Mwesige, noted that the orientation has equipped MPs with foundational knowledge and practical exposure to parliamentary work, legal and organizational frameworks, as well as insights into the mandates and roles of various departments. Parliament has also scheduled an induction program for members of the 12th Parliament, which will run from 15th to 29th June. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa in Kampala.
Uganda now has 9 confirmed cases of Ebola virus disease since it was announced by the Ministry of Health on the 15th of this month. Minister for Health designate Dr. Chris Bariomonsi is urging world leaders in their respective capacities to intensify creating awareness about Ebola and how it can be prevented. We have a detailed report.
The Ebola outbreak is still on. As you recall, the first case, what we call the index case, was a Congolese who entered Uganda on the 10th of May, and he had symptoms and signs. He was managed in the hospital and he died on the 14th. But by then, it wasn't known that it was Ebola. It was confirmed on the 15th when he had already died. And since then, so far, 9 people have tested positive for Ebola, including that one who died, who was a Congolese. And of these 9, 6 are Congolese. Only 3 are Ugandans. 1 is a driver who actually drove that individual who died, and the 2 are health workers. And our health workers and the whole system is doing everything possible to contain this epidemic. For us to successfully fight off this outbreak, it requires each person to take responsibility. I appeal to the leaders to lead in mobilizing the population, educating the population, so that our people know this is a dangerous disease. The type of strain, what we call Ebola bundibujo, that is hitting our communities here, does not have a vaccine. So the mainstay of managing this outbreak is to ensure that we strengthen prevention and following all the procedures and measures to avoid being at risk of getting this HIV. So my appeal is to the leaders, and leaders ranging from political leaders, civic leaders, our traditional and cultural leaders, religious leaders, and all leaders of all forms.
You heard it from the minister. You need to be aware about Ebola. Wash your hands, sanitize, and don't go for so many mingling activities if you can prevent that. Moving on, prosecutors across the country have been urged to uphold integrity and professionalism in the fight for justice. This was during the 8th Joan Kajozi Memorial Lecture where leaders and prosecutors paid tribute to the late senior prosecutor for her dedication and sacrifice in service to Uganda's justice system.
Information phoned me at a vigil.
On Tuesday, 26th May 2026, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni announced appointments in the cabinet that saw Balamba Rugahara transferred from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to the Ministry of Local Government as designated.
When you work hard, they can deploy you.
Balamba Rugahara, who has been serving as Minister for Youth and Children Affairs in the 2021-2026 cabinet, now moves to head the local government dockets as a full cabinet minister.
Deployment from the desk of youth. I think now I've stepped.
Sharon Kyomugisha was a respected Ugandan lawyer and senior prosecutor known for handling Sharon Kyomugisha was a respected Ugandan lawyer and senior prosecutor known for handling some of the country's most sensitive criminal and terrorism-related cases. Born on July 14, 1967 in Rakai District, Uganda, she studied law at Makerere University and later obtained a diploma in legal practice from the Law Development Center. Kyomugisha served in Uganda's justice system for more than 2 decades, rising through the ranks from state attorney to assistant director of public prosecutions and later becoming the head of the International Crimes Division. She was widely recognized for prosecuting high-profile murder, terrorism and war crime cases, including the 2010 Kampala bomb suspects and former LRA commander Thomas Gwayelo. On March 30, 2015, Sharon Kyomugisha was assassinated by gunmen riding a motorcycle in Chiwatule, Kampala, while driving home with her children. Her death shocked Uganda and the International Legal Committee, with many describing her as fearless, hard-working, and deeply committed to justice and the rule of law. In a message delivered by the Chief Justice of Uganda, Flavia Nzeija, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni said government will do everything possible to maintain peace and stability in the country in order to promote development. He also called upon African countries to unite in the fight against ignorance and poverty without discrimination.
When Sharon Kyomugisha was assassinated in 2015, Uganda lost not only an experienced assistant director of public prosecutions, but also a courageous cadre who clearly understood that criminal justice work is part of the broader struggle for peace, stability and transformation.
Speaking during the 8th Sharon Kyomugisha Memorial Lecture, Principal Judge Justice Jane Francis Abodo said every conviction serves as reassurance to the public that they are protected by the justice system. She further warned prosecutors against corruption, emphasizing that integrity remains central in the delivery of justice, and also commended the President of Uganda for supporting the work of prosecutors in the country.
Structurally, the consistent prosecution of serious crime communicates to potential offenders that criminal behavior will definitely have consequences. Let me use the Thomas Gwayelo case as an example.
Lina Nguzu, the Director of Public Prosecutions, called upon officers to reaffirm their commitment to serving the public diligently and without corruption, noting that corruption continues to weaken public confidence in the prosecution service. Nguzu further pointed out several limitations affecting prosecution work in the country and emphasized the need for collective efforts to improve service delivery within the justice sector.
We recognize corruption as one of the most serious bottlenecks to Uganda's economic transformation. It steals the most basic essentials of life from the most vulnerable members of our society. But more than that, it erodes confidence in public institutions and weakens the moral fabric of our society.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Robert Kasande, urged prosecutors to honor the legacy of former senior prosecutor Sharon Kyomugisha, who was murdered in the line of duty, by remaining committed to justice and professionalism.
Sharon Kyomugisha died in line of duty while prosecuting a very infamous case of the Kampala 2010 bombing. Prosecuting such cases requires commitment, determination, fearlessness, and courage. Qualities that Joan Kagezi demonstrated.
Charity Marion Imnat and Aisha Musanya reporting for UBC.
Thank you so much for the great memories about the late Joan Kagezi. Uganda's incoming Minister for Local Government, Balaam Bargahara, has welcomed his appointment, describing it as a strong vote of confidence from the appointing authority. In his first reaction since the reshuffle, Balaam, previously serving in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development in the Youth and Children Affairs docket, pledged an aggressive push to fast-track long-delayed local council elections, crack down on corruption in local government structures, and take service delivery closer to communities. The new designate says his focus will be on restoring accountability and strengthening grassroots governance across the country.
Information phoned me at a vigil.
On Tuesday, 26th May 2026, President Yoweri Museveni announced appointments in the cabinet that saw Balaam Bargahara transferred from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to the Ministry of Local Government as designated minister.
When you work hard, they can deploy you.
Balaam Bargahara, who has been serving as Minister for Youth and Children Affairs in the 2021-2026 cabinet, now moves to head the local government docket as a full cabinet minister.
Deployment from the desk of youth, I think now I've stabilized it. Now let me go and join, consolidate the achievement made by my outgoing minister senior, Honorable Rafael Magezi.
In an interview with UBC, Balaam described his redeployment as a gesture of trust and confidence.
I've been able to achieve and to unite families that are disintegrated.
He notes that although the task and responsibility may appear significant, he is ready for the task ahead.
Recently, I went to one district for a service. When I reached there, they told me the District Service Commission does not work the last 3 years. I said, why? That they are fighting over who to rule. I said, this is rubbish. First day in office, unserious, unsettled District Service Commission things. I'll give you an example of Masindi district where I come from. We need to sort these things.
He further pledges that once he assumes office, he will fast-track local council elections.
That is what we need. We need LC one election. People are signing agreements. The most corrupt people in some LCs are still having LC stamps, and they're using those LC stamps to extort money from people.
As a member of the Patriotic League of Uganda, Balaam expressed confidence that his principal, General Hoskan Rugaba, continues to shape his political direction.
So I believe with the support of the President and with the constant guidance of my chairman, generational chairman, General Ken Rugaba, and the guidance of General Salim Saleh, we are going to do big things.
To his successor, he urges her to keep the candle lit.
Let her have a policy of listening to people the way I've been doing. And but I trust her, she's a very good girl.
He also issued a warning to what he refers to as untouchables in the local governments, stating that heads will roll under his leadership.
There are workers who have been in public offices for 20 years. In one district, what are they doing there? If they are good staff, let us rotate them. Let's take them to other districts. There should be a rotational way. The way a minister is rotated after 5 years, a public servant should be rotated every 4 years. People who have been stealing money in local government, don't come to me that we have a deal. I don't do deals. I've joined your ministry when I'm okay. Just like I've been telling you, I don't need to make any deal. I'm a businessman. I'll put up tents and I will earn some money. I'll put up my speakers and I will earn some money. I don't need to steal taxpayers' money. So I'm appealing to all those who have been stealing that the time is now for you.
In the new changes, Balaam Bargahara will be deputized by Masaka City Woman Member of Parliament, Justin Namire.
Probably the best combination. So those of you who think we are going to have a fire brigade truck at his workers' house, that fire brigade is not required. Fire brigade can be applied elsewhere. I'm a team player.
He has also pledged to introduce a parish-to-parish work approach in the Ministry of Local Government. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you very much.
Religious leaders in Masaka have commended President Museveni for appointing Masaka Woman Member of Parliament Justin Namere Nsubuga to a ministerial position, describing it as recognition of high loyalty and long-standing service to the NRM party. Now, the remarks were made during a Thanksgiving ceremony hosted by former Maukuta South Member of Parliament Yusuf Nsereko in Masaka, where leaders praised Namere's continued commitment to mobilization and community engagement. We have a detailed report.
The clerics praised President Museveni for recognizing Namere's continued mobilization for the NRM and government programs across Greater Masaka, despite losing previous elections.
Tuyinza kwogera okujjako kugamba nti alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin otuwa wa minister Masaka ng'omwana waffe Justin Namere Nsubuga twebaza president emirundi 10 mu 10 mu 10 mu 10 omulimu omunene gwatukoledde. Namere yatandika obukozi bwe nga tannafuuka MP. Ebintu bingi nnyo n'abirwanako nnyo abantu ne batandika okusattira. Masaka yavunda ddadda emyaka 20 okuva emabega olw'obuli bw'enguzi, olw'effitina, olw'enge, olw'omutima omubi, ate ng'ekizibu ekibadde kisingamu obunene abantu nga beerembeka mu NRM naye nga tebajagala bayaayi banoonya gibba mu bubbi.
Mukama amwanukudde n'essaala bannamasaka n'eggwanga naye zisabye okulabika nga ate amuwadde minisitule ya local government ekwata kwoyo wansi. Essaawa yaayo Masaka abantu abali akabadde bakola ebintu nga banyaga ssente za gavumenti enjoka ziri mu batokota lwa mwana oyo mulama gwaliko akyali muto mukozi ngera bw'okiraba alwaniridde omunaku wansi essaawa eno okubola nga pulezidenti ogwanga wasazeewo omuwobu wa minisita. Tuli basanyufu tutudde kwebaza obeere ng'otwongera kubanga babadde tebakola nga bayita.
Pastor Mulira said Namere's commitment, resilience and service to communities had finally paid off, urging her to continue working closely with the people.
Suubiza bannamasaka bonna nti president yapointinze omuntu omutuufu era asobola okukola ekyo ekijja mu kifo kye yamuwadde. Mu butuufu tuli basanyufu nga bannamasaka.
Ahmed Washaki welcomed the appointment, saying Namere has consistently supported government programs and party activities in the region.
Kati mukama wange wabanga alonze minister wa state for local government ng'ate ye mubaka wange waffe wano Masaka Justin Namere Nsubuga ajja tuwa amaanyi.
Religious and NRM leaders say Namere's appointment will strengthen mobilization efforts and inspire more party supporters in Buganda.
Congratulations, Honorable Justin Namere. The communities of people with disability in Kampala have welcomed the appointment of Echan Joyce Okenyi as the Minister in charge of disabilities in the new cabinet. Addressing this afternoon in Kampala, key leaders of this community say Echan's appointment is the right decision by the President and one which regains confidence and trust in the next government. However, although the appointment is welcome, more attention to this community is being demanded.
Honorable Chan, I know she's a good person. She's loving the PWDs. She's caring.
I'm Yamisani by names. We thank the President for appointing our Minister, Honorable Chan Joyce. We have many things, but our Honorable knows most of them. So we are going to add on our voice on those issues like accessibility. In Kampala here, we lack accessibility. You find that people might want to go and see the mayor or anyone, but when you find that he will be lifted to go up to see someone.
Honorable Chan is somebody who is approachable, who is understanding, who cannot keep a distance away from the people he is supposed to serve. I have hope that what has not been done previously will be done. Among the international laws that favors PWDs is the universal design for all. Whatever is built, whatever is designed, whatever is done should be able to be used by every person, inclusive of the PWDs. Unfortunately, when you look at the structure, the building structure that are coming up, there is no such provision.
You can see Queen's Way, because for me I follow Queen's Way. There is no accessibility for the PWDs.
The nomination process for candidates seeking to contest for the position of district chairperson in Chikube district was marked by confusion and controversy after only 2 out of 6 aspirants were successfully cleared by the Electoral Commission officials. Among those disqualified was National Resistance Movement aspirant Banenti Mbabazi Philip Charigonza. His academic documents reportedly raised concerns after it emerged that although he studied in the United States of America, he later added the name Mbabazi to his official records. Details follow.
Mbabazi was expected to be nominated at around 4 p.m, but the process did not proceed as planned, sparking panic among NRM leaders led by the party's head mobilizer, Dr. Rosemary Nansubuga Seninde.
We are appealing to them to allow the decision that has been taken. It has been beyond us. It has been beyond us. And it is not our making. It is not a decision that we have taken as an intention. It was because of the lacuna in the documentation that were presented.
After intense consultations, the NRM eventually endorsed Padeki Sembo, who had initially entered the race as an independent-minded aspirant.
The person who came number 2 all decide to go without a candidate. And as a party, honestly, it is abominable to have NRM not having a party. I mean a candidate. So we couldn't risk that, and yet time was running out.
At the same time, National Unity Platform aspirant Temanyire Fenekans was initially denied nomination by election officials.
Bangambire, you wait, we are handling another candidate. And it is around 2 right now. Candidate bagenda kumubara buireki. Oku candidate bakwandolinga bagenda kumumara buireki. That means bali had delay tactic. Kulemesa itwe nibo barabyeho wao.
Following Kisembo's eventual clearance, celebrations broke out within the NRM camp.
So we called for expression of interest, and people came and we nominated them. And this person, particular person, Philip, came and he showed us that he studied from abroad, America, and he had his senior 4 here. So we needed to equate his papers at the level of A level.
However, supporters of Mbabazi expressed anger, accusing officials of unfairly targeting their preferred candidate.
They're discovering that the candidate they had some issues which could not allow him to be nominated. So they have presented the second alternative, and this candidate has been endorsed with all the legal requirements.
Dr. Rosemary Seninde described the developments as politically motivated. Several NRM supporters left the Electoral Commission offices visibly upset, vowing not to accept the decision against their candidate. Meanwhile, Padeki Sembo declined to speak to us after receiving his nomination card, leaving the venue immediately without making any comment. Chikube District Electoral Commission Registrar Emmanuel Twine later clarified the matter, confirming that only 2 candidates had been successfully nominated for the district chairperson race. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Thank you so much, Sudat Kaye, for the updates on the Chikube election that is about to take registration for the upcoming elections. Heads of examination centers charging registration fees above the rates prescribed by UNEB risk a fine of up to 40 million shillings, 10 years in prison, or both if found guilty. The warning comes as the Uganda National Examinations Board extends the normal registration deadline for candidates sitting this year's final examinations to the 30th of June, in a move aimed at accommodating newly added examination centres. Take a look.
The Uganda National Examinations Board has announced that it is fully prepared to invoke Section 33 of the Enable Act Cap 259 against head teachers and centre heads who charge candidates registration fees beyond the official amounts set by the board. UNEB has also maintained the official registration fees as follows. Primary Leaving Examinations PLE stands at Uganda shillings 34,000, UCE stands at 164,000, UACE stands at 186,000.
We are aware that there are some fees that are being charged illegally but are being called UNEB fees. Heads of centers, school directors are cautioned against calling other administrative charges that they levy, calling them Uganda National Examinations fees, Examinations Board fees. Because if there is a complaint and this matter goes to court and a person is convicted, the offense is a fine not exceeding 40 million shillings or 2,000 currency points, or a term of imprisonment not exceeding 10 years or both.
Candidates under government programs such as UP, USE and UPOLIT will continue to have their registration catered for by the government. Normal registration has also been extended up to 30th June 2026. During this period, candidates will attract a 100% surcharge for PLE and a 50% surcharge for both UCE and USE. UNEB clarified that there will be no registration beyond 31st July.
It is a responsibility of the candidates, the parents and heads of centers to confirm the biodata of the candidates. They must verify the correctness of the details, and the candidates themselves must append their signatures on those registers to accept that whatever information has been entered for them is correct. So we expect by middle of August, all examination centers, whether PLE, UCE or USCE, must display registers of all the candidates that have been registered at the particular centers. We want to caution heads of centers or their representatives to make sure that all UNEB registration fees are remitted and that students are duly registered for the examination.
UNEB further noted that this year's Senior 4 candidates are the third cohort under the competence-based curriculum. The board emphasized that submission of Senior 3 project scores is mandatory for every candidate to qualify for registration. Additionally, candidates must have submitted continuous assessment scores to UNEB for all subjects offered as part of the certification requirements. UNEB also confirmed that there will be no transition examinations for Senior 6 repeaters sitting this year's USC examinations. According to the board, the examination content has been aligned to accommodate both the old and the new assessments formats. Sample papers are expected to be distributed in advance to guide candidates and teachers ahead of the examinations. Crispus Adinitwe reporting for UBC.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono juu, free on fire.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
They share an office. Some work in the day, some at night. What they have in common: focus, dedication. That's what makes them champions. They also share something else: the reward of being one. The official beer of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Not for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Masaka Ju. Hawaii. Omonzi tumuleta soka Christopher Katama. Owulira otya kati nti owangude?
Ndi musanyufu nnyo. Tewali muzadde ayinza obutasanyuka nga bamusasulidde omwaka mulamba, so nebaza nnyo MTN okulaba nti mpangudde. Era nkubiriza abazadde mwena abali eyo, nyiga star emu 65 star 80 # naawe oyinza okubeera omu mu baki mu bawanguzi.
And for those of you who pay school fees at those schools that don't use Momo, hey, mubatabukire mubagambe leta Momo wano, because you stand a chance to win a van for the school. This is the power of Momo.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In more stories, Lubiji wetlands catchment areas of Bwaise, Kawala, Kasubi and Namungona have now emerged as high-risk flood and sanitation hotspots following years of illegal encroachment and unregulated development. The Bwaise, Kasubi, Kawala and Namungona drainage corridors remain among the most severely affected zones within the Lubiji ecosystem. This comes as authorities conclude the latest restoration exercise in the Lubiji section, which began in May 2024. Susan Nawonga reports.
Bwaise, which lies within the Upper Lubiji catchment section, together with Kawala and Kasubi along Kasubi corridor of Lubiji and Namungona, which form part of the Western Lubiji edge, were among the most degraded sections of Lubiji wetland system. Over the years, illegal structures including residential houses, workshops and business premises uncontrollably mushroomed along these drainage channels of the wetland.
And I want to report that significant progress was registered following the expiry of the voluntary relocation grace period issued in 2025.
In several sections, settlements were established deep inside the wetland by illegal occupants who continued reclaiming parts of the swamp for housing and commercial activities. In 2024, the National Environment Management Authority embarked on a massive restoration exercise targeting the degraded section of Lubiji wetland. The operation involved the demolition of illegal structures, opening of blocked drainage channels and reclaiming sections of the wetland that had been encroached on.
As a leader, we continue to condemn this action, and we want the government to come out to compensate these people.
On Thursday, NEMA, together with other sister government agencies, officially concluded the 2-year restoration exercise at Kasubi Kawala section of Lubiji. Although some encroachers blamed NEMA for eviction, several complied and voluntarily vacated the gazetted wetland. Many of the affected settlers have continued removing their property as they relocate from the restored ecosystem. NEMA notes that the destruction caused to the ecosystem was enormous and could not be ignored.
I would like to remind Ugandans that more restoration activities will be carried out beginning next week.
The authority has issued a strong warning to individuals intending to reoccupy the restored sections that the operation against illegal encroachment will continue.
I would like to take this opportunity to remind Ugandans that wetland degradation remains an offense under Section 55 of the National Environment Act, CAP 181.
Enforcement operations against illegal encroachment in other wetlands across the country are still ongoing as government intensifies efforts to restore and protect the environment. Susan Naonga reporting for BBC TV.
The Uganda Veterinary Council, in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, has launched a new digital database platform aimed at cracking down on fake veterinary practitioners and improving animal health services across the country. Now, the platform, unveiled by State Minister for Animal Industry, Bright Ramirama, is expected to boost accountability in the veterinary sector, strengthening disease control, and position Uganda to compete more effectively in international livestock trade. Details on this story.
More than 75% of diseases originate from animals, underscoring the need for professionalism in managing animal health. Authorities said a new digital database platform will help regulate veterinary professionals and eliminate fake veterinary services in Uganda.
Effective regulation in today's world cannot rely solely on manual system. Fragmented records or limited public visibility. Modern regulation requires digital system, and I'm happy we are at it. It requires accurate data, it requires efficient, precision service delivery, it also requires transparency, and it requires accessible communication. The digital platform being launched today responds directly to these needs. It will improve registration and licensing efficiency. It will strengthen verification for practitioners. It will improve regulatory oversight. It will enhance public access to information. And it will strengthen institutional accountability.
The Uganda Veterinary Council says it has registered significant progress within just 6 months, noting that the establishment of a digital platform marks a major milestone in improving veterinary service delivery across the country.
It's not merely about launching a website. It's about officially launching a modern regulatory platform that represents a transformative step in veterinary regulation in Uganda. This digital platform has been developed and operationalized with the generous financial and technical support of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. We also wish to express our gratitude to the firm that developed the website, which is called New Wave Technologies Limited, representing by David here. I know that we are still learning how best to use this platform, but I have the conviction that it will really serve us to improve regulation in Uganda. The platform has been specifically designed to enhance efficiency, transparency, data integration, accessibility, and the service delivery of veterinary surgeons, veterinary professionals, institutions, animal owners, and the general public.
The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations says it remains committed to supporting and strengthening global confidence in Uganda. The Veterinary Council is the national body mandated to regulate veterinary practice in Uganda. For UBC News, I'm Bantu Machawe Semambo and Winnie Katwire.
The Uganda Embassy in Paris has wrapped up its 6th European Media Influence Tour, bringing top journalists, food, storytellers and digital creators from France and Spain face-to-face with Uganda's wildlife, culture and cuisine. Officials say that the campaign is not only putting Uganda on the global tourism map, but also opening new business opportunities and driving government efforts to grow the economy through tourism.
Wow.
Uganda is steadily strengthening its tourism footprint in Europe through innovative tourism diplomacy and experiential storytelling.
Cuadrilla, vamos a intentar pescar aquí el pez grande.
From the vibrant streets of Kampala to the cultural richness of northern Uganda and the breathtaking wilderness of Musician Falls National Park, Uganda once again showcased its tourism potential to European audiences through the digital influence and immersive travel experiences.
Very excited, very happy. Come to Uganda.
And this is something which the world is missing. And we had to bring them to a setup that gives them the real nature of the beauty of the Pearl of Africa.
The familiarization trip took influencers and culinary creators through Kampala, Hamolata District, Lira City, Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary, and the Musician Falls National Park.
Food is part of culture. So when they come here and they see us eating the organic, authentic and fresh foods, it's something amazing. So this is a culture that we must preserve. So for us, we are not only doing this for the Bazungus to see, we're also doing it for our local people to know, don't run away from your food. I see a lot of people now going also to mimic the Bazungus, that they want to eat kebabs, mara, pizza. Those things are not real food.
Activities included street food tours in Kampala, traditional Luo cooking demonstrations in northern Uganda, rhino trekking, wildlife safaris, sport fishing and a memorable boat cruise along the Victoria Nile near the world's famous Musician Falls, widely regarded as the world's most powerful waterfall.
For me, it's important to show that if you come to a country, you have this diversity. So you will not only see nice things, experience nice things, but you will also eat nice things.
We do appreciate what the Embassy of Uganda in France is doing and many other foreign nations. We hope they can continue doing it. If more tourists come, it means the government is getting revenue, but also the tour operators are getting some income. So it's a win-win for the government and for the tour operators.
Uganda's ambassador to France, Spain and Portugal, Doreen Ruthamule, says the embassy has embraced tourism diplomacy centered on experiential travel, digital storytelling and strategic media partnerships to position Uganda competitively within the European tourism market.
In 2024, we had 3 countries combined. It was Spain, Portugal and France. And we only had about 3,500 tourists from the 3 countries. France alone gave us over 7,400. And I think now I should raise my standard to 10,000 tourists per year. Because if I can achieve 7,400, when I thought I could only get 2,000, but now I have to raise my level, and that is my goal.
The tourism sector currently contributes nearly 6% to Uganda's GDP and supports more than 760 jobs nationwide. Ed Yulwa, UBC News.
Series. Perfect snap, any zoom. Enjoy 9 GB free MTN data valid for 3 months. Available in any Techno or MTN outlet near you. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
In our business story, security has been intensified at Uganda's Vura border point, with the Democratic Republic of Congo significantly slowing cross-border movement and disrupting business activities. Only cargo trucks are currently being allowed through after undergoing strict screening and security checks, while border transport operations remain paralyzed. Take a look.
This is a tricircle at the Vura Customs border post wanting to cross into the Democratic Republic of Congo with chicken bought from Uganda. It is being sent back to Uganda by the security here because small cars and motorcycles from both countries are not allowed to cross the border. The resident district commissioner of Arua, Gorego Fin, explains who is allowed to cross the border as directed by the National Ebola Task Force of Uganda.
We are implementing the directives from the National Task Force by only now allowing truck drivers and trucks, because they are carrying cargo and food stuff. The people who are crossing back to their country, transport between Congo and DRC, public transport means using border, using Raksas. We have stopped all that.
Emmanuel Andama, the in charge of the port health at Vura Customs, says nobody can be allowed to access services at the immigration and Uganda Revenue Authority offices unless he or she undergo Ebola screening at the checkpoint.
Actually, it is only the truck drivers which are allowed to pass. Then they wash their hands, they come to the screening, they screen them. After screening them, they reach at the security desk. From security desk, then they go to immigration or URA. From URA there, if they are cleared and if their temperature here is okay, then they are allowed to go. But if their temperature is not okay, we are supposed to send them back to Congo if they are.
Muselema Omar is a Kenyan truck driver returning from DRC to Uganda who spent 4 hours at the border post awaiting his Ebola screened results.
Kwa hivyo hii mambo hapa inatusumbua sana, inatutatiza sana. Lakini tunapimwa hiyo nini mambo ya temperature na nini, wanatupatia karatasi ya kuonesha kama temperature iko sawa. Lakini tu ni mambo ya movement, hakuna kutembea kwa haraka. Tumekaa hapa karibu masaa 4.
However, the closure of Vura border post has affected business at all sides, including border riders. Freedom Joshua is one of the border riders at this border post who spoke to UBC about the impact of closing this border.
We actually don't have customers now because our customers normally come from Congo. They come here, we carry them to Arua, but since border has been closed, migration is not accessing the customer, is not accessing the clients who cross. So here we don't have, completely we don't have customers.
The RDC also confirmed the closure of 2 more weekly border markets of Nyo and Ejupala in Vuratown Council that attracts many Congolese. Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Joseph Odama. Now, we will wrap it up from here, and do join me later on at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. Thank you so much for being a part of the bulletin that started off at 8 to 1 minute past 9 p.m. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima gukankana like drums. Kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
I know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akantwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The President's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. A belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900 at the dawn of colonialism? 2. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1962 at the sunset of colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obote II, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today and why?
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Yes, a very good evening to you today, GBC TV. We thank you so much for following all our work. We have a parliament in this beautiful country of ours, and we have just sworn in the 12th one. We want to take an assessment of what the 11th parliament has been. We have a member of parliament, senior at that, and we know she has the information to share with us about how they have managed to run a 5-year term in parliament, and the mark they have left, plus what we should expect, because she swore in to also be part of the 12th Parliament. She's a senior lecturer of sociology, a PhD holder. She aspires to be Speaker of the 12th Parliament. Her name is the Honorable Dr. Florence Asimwe Akiki. Honorable, we're so glad to have you.
Nice to have you too.
Yes. So, Honorable, the 11th Parliament was your first term.
I tried in 2016. And I didn't make it. They cheated me. I didn't make it in 2016. Yes. So I tried again in 2021.
And this time you were successful?
I was successful. That's when I joined the 11th Parliament.
You came with the NRM flag?
Yeah, I came on the
You won the flag and won the general election?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did both.
Okay.
And actually, the flag, sorry, we had these big, strong women I competed with. Honorable Kabakumba, Masco.
Yes.
Honorable Jalia Bento, senior politician, but I beat all of them. I beat with 15,000 votes. I beat them, so they didn't come back. In 2016, as I've told you, I competed with Jalia Bento and I didn't make it. But for the 2021, I competed with other people, but for 2026, that's the one that we're talking about.
Yes.
This is my second term. I've seen it all in the 11th Parliament. I need to say that the 11th Parliament, we started off on the wrong note, or on a bad note. You know, we have just come from COVID.
Yes.
We came in, there was no orientation. We didn't have actual orientation because all of us were just tuned and that the last bits of COVID.
Yes, the lockdown.
So we were just plunged in the parliament where most of us were new. Most of us, because the 10th parliament, 90% of the members didn't come back because of what happened. You remember those Togikwata and whatever. Exactly. And I even thank God that I actually didn't succeed in 2016 because I wouldn't. I very thank God. I think that's why you didn't want me to come.
So if you had managed to come in 2016, you think the Tojikwatako thing would take you out?
It would take me because I didn't have beaten me. I can see how Kataka as I am. And before they changed the seating arrangement of the speaker, there was that place where I usually sit. Now they removed it. They removed that small hat.
Yes.
Now the whole place is now open like this.
But before that, me, I used to sit near the speaker. You can imagine they would have beaten me up. So it's good I did come in 2016. So 10th Parliament, 90%
did not return.
Didn't return. So the 11th Parliament was full of new people and young people.
Including yourself.
Including me, I'm old, of course.
But you were
But I was new.
Yes.
In the legislature. So now, putting that aside with our COVID, now within a year, we lose a speaker. You can imagine, we just ask ourselves, are we cursed or what?
You enter in at the closure of a lockdown. Many of you are very new. Then you lose your leader.
Senior leader.
Yes.
Moreover, who would have guided us properly in making laws and whatever. Now we're in trouble. Jacob Olanya, I was one of the chief campaigner for speakership. Remember he stood with the
Kadaga, yes. You were pro Olanya.
I was pro Olanya and Anita. Because there were two camps. One was
Right Honorable Kadaga and Tayebwa. Then Right Honorable Olanya, rest in peace, and Honorable Anita Mong.
So for us, we uniformed that word, Joanita.
Oh.
Joe, that is Jacob.
Jacob Olanya.
And Anita. So we are Team Joanita.
Wow.
Tayema was the Kadaga. I don't know what they were calling themselves.
Okay.
So actually, looked for votes for Anita. I was one of the, because we were that team, very strong. And now the problem came in when we lost Jacob.
How would you describe the tenure of Jacob before we lost him? That very little time he was there.
The little time I was with Jacob, I could see some sanity. I could see professionalism. The time would come in the house, you'd feel him. But unfortunately, it was on and off and whatever. We didn't